Hello, scientific investing viewers. Wish you a very happy new year. And I hope year 2022 for you is filled with joy, prosperity, and a lot of learning. This video is the first video in this series of Quants Bytes. So if you have tracked our community page, you will see that our calendar, it consists of, three programs: Funda Bytes, Quants Bytes, and Tech Bytes. Now, the purpose of Quants Bytes is basically to promote the learning around quantitative investing. And this is the first video in that series. So, welcome to Quants Bytes series. What we will do is we will try to do a lot of hands-on exercise and we will try to learn about quants investing. But let me highlight, quants in itself may not be sufficient because quants needs, apart from programming skills or Python skill or coding skill, machine learning skill, quantitative mathematical skill, the base foundation still, I believe, is the domain knowledge or the knowledge of fundamental analysis or technical analysis. So even though we are dealing with quants bytes, my humble suggestion, don't ignore funda bytes and technical bytes because over a period of time, you will see that there is a lot of learning from funda byte and tech bytes, which will come into quants byte. So let's go ahead. So quants is all about data, and the first thing which comes to mind is where to get the data, and that is where today's video is focused on. And I will show you not only one but more than three different data sources to collect data to do any kind of quantitative analysis. But even before that, the basic question comes: why we are doing this kind of analysis, why we need to do a quants analysis. So many times you would have heard that people are telling this the best trading strategy, this is the strategy which works, and this is the super winning strategy, this is a strategy by which you can mint money, momentum trading is the best strategy. There are different kinds of saying in the market, and everybody comes with few examples to show how this strategy works like a charm. But the key question is, does it really work? And how do you get confidence that, this strategy works? What if this strategy has worked for this year, but it will not work in some other year? What if a strategy is working in a certain kind of market, but it will fail badly in another kind of market? So the question is, does it really work, or we have been served a sample bias just to showcase the potential of that strategy? And to test, to validate, to do all of that is possible. And let me tell you, market is not a place where we can rely with tips or we can rely with what others are telling blindly. We need to do our own exercise. So quants investing is a way to identify and validate any kind of hypothesis, whether it's related to momentum based strategy, price momentum based strategy, or let's say relative strength based strategy, or let's say a moving average based strategy, or RSI based strategy. There could be n number of strategies. So one thing is which works and which doesn't work. Second is which works better than the other. Third is which works in what kind of environment. Or the fourth one is, if I have a hypothesis in mind, let's say I have been a technical analyst and I have been learning it for last 3 years, and based on all that chart reading, I have built certain hypotheses in my mind that looks like this kind of, if you follow this kind of pattern, it is very rewarding pattern. But my history of learning is only 3 years, where 3 years is not even a proper bull or bear cycle. So will that work for next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years, or has it worked in the past for last 5, 10, 20 years? To do all of that, quants analysis is very, very helpful. The other thing is, many of us, we don't have that much time to do our qualitative analysis or look through hundreds of charts at a daily level, because it requires a daily level effort. Everybody is not 24 hours free. Many of us, we have jobs. So again, quants investing is one of the ways to automate some of these strategies. It may not be as accurate as the way we do it manually, because manually it may have a lot of nuances, but we can build a basic version, improvise, and keep improving. So that way there is a time benefit which we get, even if it is not as rewarding as the manual strategy, or it could be sometimes much be more rewarding than manual strategies, because manual strategies have their own biases, own greed, own fear, but a system doesn't have all of that. So it has multiple benefits, and that is why we are looking at it. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do some hands-on exercise, because quants is all about hands-on. But before that, if you are very new to quants and you just don't know quants investing is, what is quants investing, I have already created two videos for you. This is for beginners and for basic, but if you are not aware, you can go through it. Go to my YouTube channel, and you have one video demystifying quants, algorithm, and machine learning. It's a good 40-minute discussion just to highlight what these terms are, like what are various strategies, what is factor investing, a lot of terms in quants. We have tried to highlight the basic. And we released one video just 1-2 weeks back, SI Bytes, why fundamental analysis and quants analysis. So as I said, even though this is a video for quants bytes, quants analysis, the fundamental analysis and technical analysis, they act as input. And this particular video highlights, what are the individual benefit each of these three bring to the table, and then how each of these three, they interact with each other. So do watch these two videos if you're a beginner. And with that, let's start with today's session. Just one thing. So because we will be doing hands-on exercise, there will be a lot of codes, and I have scripts for these codes. Plus in future also, we have a periodic schedule for quants bytes. So there will be a lot of scripts generated. So if you want to access those scripts, I'm just floating a Google form, and you can see that in the description box. Whenever you see any YouTube video, when you go down and when you click here, you will see there is a description box here. And in the description box, you will see for this video also, I have pasted a link of the Google form. Fill the Google form. So once you have filled the Google form with your email details and all, I will find a way how to share all these scripts with you, so that you are regularly updated with the scripts, so that you can practice. So we are going to do 3-4 things today. First, I am going to tell you a very easy interface where you can go and you can do your Python programming to collect data. So, there is a whole bunch of software or IDE environment to install Python, but I got many feedbacks, like I got stuck here. I couldn't install this package. I couldn't install that package. I couldn't load Anaconda. I couldn't install Python. So to solve all those problems, there is a very easy way, and Google has been making our lives easier. And even on the quant side or data science side, Google has made our lives easier. So Google has something called Colab, where all the installation of the Python and everything, the whole hardware which does the computation, everything sits in the cloud. All you need is a website URL where you can go type the URL and get started with coding. So we will leverage Google Colab, because then you will not have all such issues. And then all your scripts and all, it will get saved in your Google account. So all you need is your Google account. You have a Google account, you will have a Gmail ID, you will have a Google Drive, and the Colab basically syncs with Google Drive. So what it does, all the scripts which you are going to write in the Colab, it will sit in your Google Drive. It will create a folder for Colab and it will sit there, and it will be perfectly synced. You don't need to worry about the software and the installation or anything. And then what we are going to do is we are going to look through multiple sources to collect stock market data, both Indian as well as US data. And we'll look at both trade as well as fundamental data. I may not be able to capture everything, but that is why we have Quants Bytes as a series, where in next set of lectures, we'll cover it one by one. And why I'm telling you multiple sources of data, because all these things are free of cost. But somebody who's providing, they are bearing a cost, and depending on whether they have their commercial interest, or if it is profitable for them in some way or the other, they may revoke some of these offerings at certain point of time. Like one of the package which we will be walking through, it used to be Yahoo Finance, and somewhere in 2017-18 Yahoo declared that they are not going to provide the API support, but then again I think they have been providing. But there has been a little bit of back and forth, and that issue can come again. So when you have 3-4 different sources of data, even if one is not working, you will have access to other sources of data, and that is the benefit. Also, each source of data may have certain advantages and disadvantages, so it's good to have multiple options so that when one fails, we'll go through the backup. So with that, now let's jump into hands-on exercise. So I believe all of you will have a Google account. If you don't have, create a Google account so that you can have access to Google Colab. And all you need to do is you need to go and type this https://collab.research.google.com. Once you type and hit enter, you will get this kind of menu. So basically, I already have a Colab account and I have already written certain scripts. So that is why it is giving me a list of certain scripts. And also, if you see, this is my personal account and I don't want to use this account. So this is my personal account, but I will use scientific investing account. The other thing is, if you go here, you'll see welcome to Colab, and it has all the introductory videos and lectures. What is Google Colab, how you can work. So you can just go through it. They provide a lot of input on data science, machine learning through books and all. You can learn on your own also. But I will just switch to scientific investing account to use the Google Colab. And when I go to scientific investing account, you will see again the same kind of window opens, and some of the scripts which I have already written, those scripts are there. But what I will do is, and if you don't have any scripts, it might go directly to new notebook. So click new notebook here, or directly go to new notebook, and you will get a notebook. Notebook is nothing but in Python. Python is a programming language. A programming language is required to code and execute your algorithms or your scripts. So this is the Python IDEs through Colab. If you have a software on your system, you will have something like Anaconda, and you'll open Jupyter notebooks and all. But this is the easier way of doing, where we didn't do any installation and we have a front end interface here, and we can directly go and we can write and we can code. Like, let me show you something very simple, like 2 + 2, and let's just see it. And you can see it has just done an operation, and you can see in the backend the hardware is working here, the RAM and the disk space used and all. So everything Google is taking care in the backend. Everything is happening in the cloud in the backend. Now what we will do is, I already have a script for you. So what I will do is, I will walk you through the script, and then we will write this together. So let me just minimize this little bit. So what we are doing here is, first we are installing certain packages. Now, what are packages? Packages are like, there are certain work which you are doing again and again and again. And this work you need to do n number of times in future. And there are many people who are going to do the same work. So rather than you do this work repeatedly in future, and rather than 100 people doing the same work by writing 100 lines of code, package is a way to package all of that information together in one or few simple lines, so that you don't need to repeat the work, and not everybody needs to repeat the work. So everybody can use the same package and do the same thing in writing 2 lines of code, rather than writing 20 or 100 lines of code. That is a very, very simple way of understanding package. I'm not getting into technical, because I know most of the audience, they're investing audience, they are not software audience. So package is a way to leverage somebody else's work, where you can also just in few lines of code you can do all of that. So here our purpose is basically to collect data, stock market related data. So there are packages for that, and as I said, we will go through multiple sources. So that is why I am installing multiple packages, and each of these packages unique source of data. So NSC Pi is a package which is created by Indian person, Swapnil. All credits to him, and this for extracting data from NSC website for the financials. Pandas TA is basically a package to perform technical analysis. So you hear about so many metrics like your technical analysis, moving averages, MACD, Bollinger Bands and all. So Pandas TA provide functions to get values of many of such metrics, and we will have a separate session on Pandas TA itself. Third is Y Finance, which is another source which retrieves data through Yahoo Finance, and Google Finance is a package where you can retrieve data through Google Finance. So what we have done is we have installed these packages, and all this code below which you see is basically the installation. And once you install the package, you need to import these packages. To make it usable, we need to import it so that all the functions of these packages become active. And why I'm using this word PD or TA is basically I'm just giving a short name. It's like a nickname, like, you know, my name is Saurabh, but my friends call me Suru. So rather than calling Kumar Saurabh, if somebody calls me Suru, it's very easy. So same way, if you want to call the functions in these packages to execute a particular task, you can just use a PD or a TA. So it becomes easier rather than typing the long names. Once you have imported the package, then we'll go. So this particular video, I'm focusing only on one package called Yahoo Finance, and then in subsequent videos, we will explore more. So when you go to this package, Yahoo Finance, there is a function. So I'm using YF. YF is, you can say, it's the nickname for the package Y Finance. And you can use, there are a lot of built-in functions. So a package is basically a packet of functions, and each function is there to execute a particular task. So you can call this function and execute. So download is the function which helps to download the data. So YF is the package nickname, dot download is the function. And then in function, you need to provide information. Like when somebody asks you to do something, you will ask, okay, where I need to go, what I need to do, what I need to find, at what time I should reach. So you are asking some basic information which is helping you to do your job. So same way in this function, we need to pass parameters which will help this package function to do its job. So if you have to download something, you must provide what do you want to download, for which time period you want to download, for which interval you want to download, and all the things. And if you keep your cursor here, you can see all that information. So there are many parameters here at the top. You don't need to pass all the parameters, but bare minimum parameters. The other way to see is, let's say if you're confused, you don't know how to use this function, all you need to do is, and in fact, let's do this exercise now hands-on just to show. So I will copy this code here and I will paste it here so that we all do it together hands-on. So let me just copy this whole thing and paste it here in this new script, and give Shift and Enter together. Either you can click on this button, and I will have one more session where I will walk you through everything in Colab. But right now, just to get quickly started, let's just do it. So either you click this button, run, or you press Shift and Enter together, and this will run. And it will take some time to execute, and it will install these packages. If you are getting any error and all, don't worry. Mostly it should work fine. Colab will take care of this. And let's go further down and let it get installed. The other thing is, if you see, there are two things. There is a code and there is a text. Code is where you need to put all the codes, and text is if you want to put any comments. So let's say I want to put a comment here. And the comment I want to say is I'm starting with installation of packages. So again, I'm copying this thing also. And whatever you type, the format in which it will look like, that format you can see on the right side. And the star and hash, these are basically ways to add bold or different text formats. So we will learn all of this separately, but for the benefit of time, just copy and paste this, and then you will have your comments here. And then we come down, our packages are installed. So now we will go and we will try to import the packages. So my next piece of code, I am copying the import package section. And I hope you are doing this with me, because practicing is the best way to learn. Don't only watch the videos, pause the video, learn it yourself, code it yourself. You don't need to do any installation. It works, beautifully. So, you can just get started and do these things. So with this, we have imported the packages. Now let's get into directly how to download the data. So again, we will add this comment line. Download stock trade data using Yahoo Finance. So there are two kinds of data. Trade data is used basically for technical analysis, and fundamental data, financial data, is used for financial analysis. and we will see both of them. I'm starting with trade data, but I will show you how to download the financial data also. So we have put this comment, and now let's go through the first line itself. And I will suggest you don't copy paste, you type it here. So let's say the format is, I'm trying to download this information for this. If you see, this code is infi_ns. Now, how I got infi_ns? So go to Yahoo Finance website. So I'm just trying to Google and go to Yahoo Finance website. So I go to Yahoo Finance. And if you go to Yahoo Finance website, open it, you will see you have all the financial company information, and give the company name in which you are interested. Let's say you want to give the company name as Infosys. Now, when you give Infosys, you can see there are multiple Infosys coming here. The first one, Infosys, is Infi, but you also look at exchange. This is NYQ, this is New York Stock Exchange, I think. But if you need NSE or BSE, this is the one. And in NSE, everything, the stock name will be followed by .ns, and BSE, it will be followed by .bo. So infi.ns is your code for Infosys NSE. If you want Nifty data, which is an index, so give Nifty here, and you can see Nifty 50 here, it belongs to NSI, and this index code is this symbol followed by NSEI. So this is how you retrieve the codes. So I have given here infi.ns, which tells which is the ticker or which is the stock for which I want to download the data. Then I'm giving what is the period for which I want to download the data. So this is the start date, and again follow the same format, double quotes and date, and this is the end date. The next thing is very important, interval. Interval means what is the duration of the data. Do I need, so this is the beauty. If you want minute level data, you want hour level data, you want daily data, you want weekly data, you don't need to do all those calculations. Like let's say if you want weekly data, because you are a long-term trader, I mean positional trader, you rely on weekly charts. So you know you need your closing price of the week, high price, low price. You don't know to do anything. All that, you know, the codes will do for you, just that you need to give the interval. So if you want to know about all of this, one simple thing you can do is you can do a Control C, type help, and put this in bracket, and again put Shift Enter or your play button. When you do this, you get all the details about this specific function, what it does, what are the parameters, what are the unique values. So it says it helps to download Yahoo tickers. These are the parameters, the period, the interval. Period is like, there are two ways. Either you give a start time and end time, so it will give you data for that duration, or you can give period, like you want data for last 1 day, last 5 days, last 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, all of that. And interval is whether you want 1 minute level data, 2 minute level data, 60-minute level data, daily data, weekly data. So, you know, you get to learn all these things. If you are confused, just take help and do this. So let me just show you an example. This is a 1 day data, and let me just show you. And what I'm doing is, this data is here. I need to save it somewhere. Like, you know, you save your data in Excel, you open the Excel file. So think this as the Excel file in Python. It's called, it will download in the form of a data frame here. So there are different kind of data types, and data frame is one of, you know, the way to store the data. And if I want to see my data partially, like top 5 rows, I can give a dot head command, and 5 means 5 rows, and I can see. So if I hit enter, it will execute both these lines. What it has done is it has downloaded the Infosys trade data from this date. You can see exactly this date is started, and it's a 1 day interval, 2nd of June, 3rd of June, 4th of June, and it has given this data. Let's say instead of this, if I pass 1 week WK, and see your high price for this week was somewhere around 711, or let's say low price, let's say the closing price was somewhere around 703. I'm assuming this was the last. Maybe we will take 6. And just give me a minute to show, and we will first do 1 week. Actually, there are only 5 days. That is why it is not working. So let me make it 8. And first, let's go with day. And now you can see you get 5 rows of data, and I think this was the end of the week, then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So this closed at 703.54. Just remember this. And if we go at a weekly level, and also you can see what was the low price. Your low price was somewhere 696. If you do a 1 week, you get the same data at a weekly level. First week, 8th, 15th, and you can see your close price has been the last price on Friday, and low price was the lowest price of the week. So you didn't do all this. The package itself, the function itself is doing all of that. Or let's say you want a minute level data. So then you give 60 minute and you hit enter. And why 60 minute? Again, go to the help document, you will see all of that. So you can see for the same date you are getting 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So this is how you collect the data. So what I have done in this script is I've just written various formats. Like let's say this was for Infi. If I want the same thing for Nifty for one day, I can go here, and instead of this I change my code to NSEI, and I have already shown you how to see the codes on Yahoo Finance. And I make it, let's say I want daily level Nifty data. So I put 1 day and it works. The name I'm not changing, I'm still keeping Nifty, but this is your Nifty level on that particular date. And same way you can do weekly, you can do hourly, 1 minute, whatever you want. So what I have done is here you can have the script, and every data I want to save. So I'm saving in different kind of file names, so that one doesn't get overwritten. So this is Infi daily, this is Nifty daily. What if I want to have both of them together? So you can create a space and you can pass multiple names here. So let me again just show you through an example here. And let's change this name to DF all. And you can see adjusted close high, and it is giving for both the companies, for Infi also and for Nifty also. So this is the way you download the data. This is the way you save the data. I have given the script for daily, weekly, and if you want the script, just fill the Google form, so that I don't send it to people who are not interested. But if you want to be a part of where you want to the updated script for not only this particular session but all the sessions which we are going to have in the future, just fill the Google form, fill your email ID, and I will ensure that you get updated with all the scripts. I will try to find a way, the optimum way and easier way to save the script, so that you also have access to it. Or I can share the script on the Google Colab itself with you. If you see Google Colab, it provides a way to share. Here you can share the script. So I'll try to find the best way to share, so that you have all these scripts. So we have seen this, we have seen get help. We saw how through using a head function we can see the first 10 rows. The other thing is, if you want to ensure that you have got all the data till the very last row, so you can use a tail function instead of head. So head will give you the top 5, tail will give you the bottom 5. And our last date is here is 7th June. Let's make it 7th August, and then in the tail we can see the last data is up to 6th of August. Okay, so this is working. Now the question is, let's say I have this data. I want to have this data in a CSV file on Excel, so that I can do my exercise. How should I do it? So first, let me show you for single script to make life easier. And let's just have this for Infi. And we have this infi.ns. I will change the name again to infi.ns. This also I change to infi.ns, and I have the Infi data here. Now I want to download in the form of a CSV file on my local desktop. So you need to have this function from google.colab, import files. This will help us to import the data, and then you take the data frame where you've saved this data, and you need to write this command function to CSV and pass the file name in the form of which you will have your CSV file, and give this command files.download. So I'm just copying this whole thing here. Let me just, and if you give plus code, you will get one more line of code. If you give plus text, you will get one more line of text. And I'm doing a control V, and this is my file name. data frame df underscore infi underscore d. So df underscore infi underscore d dot to CSV. It will convert this into a CSV file, and then you can download the CSV file. And once you click this, you see downloading infi daily CSV, and I get my download here. And if I let's just get it downloaded, and then we can open it and we can see it in the form of a CSV file. And then you can do a lot of exercise, whatever you want to do. So this is how we collect the data, and this is how we download the data on our local PC. And I hope you are following with me. You have been able to execute it. If you have been able to execute it, do comment, do write that you were able to execute it. If you got stuck, do write where you got stuck, so that I can help you. I will try to go through all the questions and address. So this is how your data is there, and you have all the data open, high, low, close, volume, everything. And let's go next. So now you have your data, and next is regarding the fundamental data. So I'll just leave with one example. We will discuss this in another session. I don't want to make it a long session, but I want to do justice to each and every topic properly. So next is downloading financial data. I will just leave you with an example. And because I told you we'll cover both Indian and US companies, here I have taken one of the US companies, which is Apple. And this is the code for Apple. So what you need to do is we will use the same package, Y Finance, and YF is the nickname. And there is a function called ticker. And I'm just saving this information in object called Apple. And let's see it. So when we do this, it saves some information in Apple. Let's see what this information is. So do this thing. You type here Apple, give a dot, and then wait. When you wait, you see so many functions are there. And now you start seeing a lot of fundamental analysis things, like you are seeing balance sheet, calendar, cash flows, dividend, earnings. So excited, I am excited. And let me show you just one function, which is get info. And I'm just going and clicking on get info. And just 1 second. So because it's a function, you need to give that opening and close bracket. And see, when you get info, it is giving you a lot of information, fundamental information regarding Apple stock. What is the code type? What is the revenue growth, equity growth? You can see there is a lot of fundamental, which sector it belongs to. Or let's say you want to see the balance sheet of Apple. So let us say I give Apple dot, and let us say I go for balance sheet. So I am just giving this balance sheet and hit enter. Just 1 sec. I think on some of them we don't. Yeah. So here you have the Apple balance sheet for last 4 or 5 years, your liability, equity, asset. So, it's so easy to get all this information. We will stop here, but we will see how to extract the fundamental data in detail in the next section. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, do comment, do put your comments, whether you'll be able to do it, whether you liked it or not, what more you would like to see. If you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel and do hit the bell icon so that, you get all the updates. And I will see you soon in the next video of Quants, Bytes, and, the other streams. Thank you.